Okay, we're live. Sorry for the delay, folks. We have late night action here between NoMercy, M249, and Yeagerists. This is for PuMaX League playoffs, I believe, season 4 right now. I'm not entirely sure. A matchup sort of between the groups here. Actually, season 6, correction. I think it different leagues than season 4, so my apologies for that. But as I mentioned, this is playoffs here. First round actually between these two, sort of intergroup action as at least as of week 4, probably a bit different now, but at least as of the end of week 4. Yeagerists sort of in the middle of Group C, third with 5 points, 20 and 18, positive 2-round differential. And then over in Group B, actually, NoMercy 249 with 4 points in second to last in their group. So as I mentioned, playoff matchup here between these two teams. This is actually map 3, technically map 4, because apparently this was actually played already between these two teams. But Yeagerists protested because the sides were wrong, and so the protest was granted, and this match is being replayed fresh. But essentially, from my understanding, M249 the 5th seed, Yeagerists is the 12th seed. The winner will go on to play Orion from, I believe, Group A, the 4th seed. Orion is a bye here. So, no, from Group D, the top team of Group D. So, don't know much about 249. I've seen Despise, I've seen DC, but I don't know much about the team or about the rest of their roster here. Yeagerists is essentially original Durag. They do have some newer players, but they still have that core, really, as I say, that Adexi trying to swing, trying to take down that, I think that would be the Azami there. Murder's taking a lot of damage here on site. Already some pressure being applied, some heavy pressure as Joey takes down DC, the bandit, out of the round now. But we'll get the opening kill now. Matt taking a lot of damage, but the other G36 player, Joey, holding vertical now, did get that opening frag and put his team into a pretty good spot right now. As Failto? I'm not even sure how to pronounce that. I'm just going to say SK does get a frag. Looking for a second one to get a headshot there into Adexi. Going to swing out into 90. Finds one, a double, triple kill, actually. Makes 2 plays there, really, on that 90 side. Looking for a 4K on the round. Gonna just corner this player. Shoots his teammate there, not a big deal, but they're gonna actually swing around with the bearing 9. Takes out one of the few remaining players here for Yeagerists at the moment. That would be actually Canada, just caught on the corner between a rock and a hard place. Ultimately just succumbs to that pressure there. Actually, pardon me, I think it was Matt. And Despise just pre-fires, holds down the trigger, and gets a quick headshot. Gets the round win here for M249, who just got a... Wow! I'll talk more about the teams and about the bands in a moment, but to talk about that last round, that was a very impressive and very defining opening, really, for M249. I mean, essentially it started feeling pressure pretty early, and onto that site, ended up losing the opening frag, and then essentially just played very aggressively. I found it strange that they didn't have a roam, really, and instead they just sort of put everyone on or near site and then pushed out with that additional manpower that they had. But, you know, essentially, they just played very aggressively against Yeagerists, and I don't think Yeagerists was really expecting them to swing back out, you know, push through this breach here on Classical or on 90, start encircling players on you know, top red and putting pressure on them that early in the round. So, as I mentioned with Yeagerists, just to round out that profile, as I said, just sort of original Durag team. A lot that core really containing Jedi Joey in Canada. They also have a couple other players that aren't playing tonight, but very aggressive rank style team. If you wanted to, you could call them gunny, but I wouldn't. So, just very aggressive team. We'll have to see how it goes, but that first round certainly not the way that they really wanted to start here. To talk about the bans, Ace ban, M's are gonna fall. Bit of a surprise there as Matt will pick him off. I think he might have been looking for some sort of vertical play. He does still have that nitro and those black eyes, but unable to really make anything happen here. Hi, Sparks. What's on here? It's going to be similar. And so it's best of one, but I'm watching because it's going to be good. Yeah, it should be. I mean, after that first round, I have a feeling that this should be a very good game here. I think Matt might be on, I was about to say on roam clear duty, but it looks like he's just completely abandoned that, as he's going to just sort of be looking at maybe a bit of distraction, a bit of pressure now. He's the only player really pushing this master side as the rest of Yeagerists looks to loop around from that 90 area. Canada gonna swing and actually finds one, almost whips, but does get a headshot there on a murder. Now takes down one, will rotate away now, just sort of being chased down and unfortunately unable to outrun the C8 as Canada will get a double kill. Looks for a third, he'll get it onto DC, despise the last one left here. He will down and finish off Matt there, still outnumbered now, and he has essentially lost sight, maybe stuck between a rock and a hard place here. They know where he's at. He doesn't really have a way out. Does actually find a way out. He'll headshot Canada now. Free to rotate away towards this master site, but they still know where he is, and they still have a man advantage at this point, even though they don't have the diffuser, strangely enough. Gonna try and make their way forward here. I believe he's just holding the angle at this point. Jedi Joey looking for the plant here to Spies. Don't know if he realizes it. Might just try and, yeah, I think he does. Might be looking to bait out a rotate. Plant will go down. Swing by Walkie. Gonna catch a couple stray shots there. Trying to pick this round up here. Still outnumbered and needs to get that defuse down. Spies probably not in the best situation at the moment. Swings into Astro, finds that Twitch, but unfortunately unable to get the frag. And Walkie will actually trade out. Does trade out rounds here, really. Brings his team back to even. 1-1. Anything you need to know about the lead, just let me know. Okay. Thanks, Sparks. Appreciate it. Didn't really get to talk about the bans, because it went straight into the action. Jackal ban, very standard comfort ban, not at all surprised to see that. Ace ban, a teeny bit surprised that it's Ace, but it still fits that archetype of really on Villa and on maps, where it is focused a lot on getting walls open as part of the, as an integral part of the push. Not surprised to see that, just a bit surprised that it's Ace instead of potentially a Thatcher. I think that obviously with the presence of EMPs and probably as well with maybe a bit with the upcoming operator Ram, probably going to become less popular to ban that Thatcher, even less so. There's just so many alternatives to the Thatcher. The Capcan ban, not very surprised to see that. I'm not a huge fan of Capcan bans personally. I think it only really punishes teams that are rushing or sloppy. So you really shouldn't need to worry about him that much, and I doubt that this is a target ban. I strongly doubt this is a target ban against Yeagerists, and the Fenrir ban just seems like a comfort ban. We don't want to deal with him, so we're going to take him off. I doubt that it's a main of any of these players for M249. I could be wrong, though. Still, can be a very dangerous and impactful... Yeah. I agree. Can be very impactful, can be very annoying to play against with those F-Not mines. Jackal's a very strong operator, so that's why he's... Yeah. I absolutely agree. I mean, he's arguably the best roam clear operator in the game. And he has a great kit still. They haven't changed it, really. They've been, they've in the past made tweaks to the C70, but, right, and in its current state, it's still a good gun. Still a very good gun. And then in conjunction, he can do some secondary vertical, as I'd say that the primary vertical player of Canada actually taken out now. Headshot from Despise, that Frost continuing to be a presence and a nuisance for Yeagerists, but will end up taking down that Skeleton Geek, and it'll probably make it a bit harder now for Yeagerists to get vertical, even though they still have, obviously, Matt with those Ash charges and Jedi Joey with the frags. But yeah, as I was saying, he can still, because he still has the Edo 12S, he can still do secondary vertical. He can still set up some of those angles, clear out some of that stuff. As I say that, Walk trying to press forward now, going to take a lot of damage, hunted down and finished off by Vildo. I'm going to just switch to saying SK, I'm sorry. Trade it out. He's going to take him out. Gets a double kill, so he'll take down DC. Puts his team back at even now. It's continuing to apply pressure onto this trophy, on the statuary side, actually. From 90, Nitro goes out there from Ernster, turns Jedi Joy into the newest member of Team Rocket. Matt's going to open up this walk-in area, trying to maybe clear out anybody that's over there, but unfortunately no one. The spy's not there anymore. Not since last round. Murders is just lying in wait here on this master side. By bathroom, Adexi with a triple kill. He'll sneak onto site as he does take down Emser. And now Despise gonna just clear out the site here. Does take down Adexi there. Leaves it up to just Matt. Getting hunted down by Despise. Might run into an M5 if he's not careful. Nitro goes out. Almost taken out by that C4, manages to run away and spare some health. Still, however, very unfavorable conditions right now. And Murders takes him out. M249 continuing to roll here. But just, I mean, what a response to that second round there from M249. You know, second round, nearly saw it given up really by the attacking team, by Yeagerists, because they had a 3v1 and then they let it fall into a 2v1. But you know, essentially on that first round, they dealt with that push from, or they faced that push from 90, very quickly lost statuary, and from there essentially just cornered the remaining member of M249, which was despised as that Frost. The second time around, we saw actually the same push really from Yeagerists, and I don't blame them. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Essentially saw the same push, but in response, we saw a lot more effort really concentrated around statuary and around Astro, and I think that really helped M249 recover. And the other thing was just that they, in these 2-round wins that they have, so obviously we're still early, we can't make these generalizations with 100% accuracy, but in these 2-round wins that we've seen from them, they've been very aggressive. You know, tossing out Nitros, really pushing out from the site and such. So we'll have to see if they can continue to have that mentality, have that real aggressiveness here, because I think that that's what's making Yeagerists uncomfortable and what's really giving them the advantage at this point. But to go back to what Sparks was saying earlier with the Jackal rework, I do think that he, in order to become not the most banned operator in the game every single season, oh, okay, don't really know what happened with that zombie barrier, but as I was saying, you know, I think in order for that to happen, he does need some sort of rework, probably with the Inox, because he's still, I mean, the gadget is what makes him such a great roam clear operator. Makes him great in that sort of flex frag position. So if they I don't know, maybe reduce the pings or something. I haven't really considered how they would rework the Jackal, but I do like your idea, Sparks, of just making it so that way he's the only one that can see those pings. Because then you probably shift him more towards support, where you want to be keeping him alive. So that way he can use those scans. It also makes it more, I would say at this moment, Jackal is a very selfish operator with his utility. If they were to make it so that way only he can see those pings, I would say that it would push him more towards support and make it so that way if a team really wants to maximize, as I say, that Jedi Joy gonna gun down Emser, but if a team really wants to maximize those Inox pings, they would need to actually work in conjunction as a unit, and then you know, roam clear that way. Keep the Jackal alive as long as possible. Dope calls going out now. As I say that, a walk takes down Despy. He's going to try and put some pressure on the objective. He's just going to roll right through. Takes down another one, a double kill. Almost gets a third, but quickly gets his head taken off. A frag from below, however. Jedi Joy will trade him out now. Just trade after trade. DC, the last one left on site. Matt will finish him off. As the plan was going down there. Yeagerists just very quickly taking over at AV side for another round win. Yeah, that's fair enough. I would agree with that. With the pings thing.
Attackers need to locate and defuse bombs.
I'm reloading! Full fortified! Yeagerists deployed as a Kona deployed! Reload! Kona deployed!
Alright.
Healing station placed. Fortified walls! You can stop worrying about grenades now.
10 seconds to insertion.
Okay, that was weird. Controller
5 seconds
disconnected.
to insertion.
Sorry.
Stop worrying about grenades now.
Attackers' objective is to locate a bomb and defuse it.
Don't know why, but anyways. So, just a great round there for Yeagerists, and I don't know exactly what happened, but suddenly, Yeagerists had a real coordinated push on that AV side, and all of a sudden, M249 just folded. Started shooting. They couldn't deal with the pressure, and so all of a sudden, you have a Dokkaebi getting a double kill and just strolling right through. Strolling right through Aviator.
Claymore's ready.
So we'll have to see how this goes here. But I think if Yeagerists can apply sustained to a specific side of sight and still manage to keep up with the aggressive play that we're likely going to see here from M249, they should be able to get the advantage here. I'm going to send out some tracks there, bringing the gridlock for some flank watch. And the Dokkaebi has become a bit more consistent. It's become real consistent here for Yeagerists. I think that's your next best bet. Trying to bring roam clear without that Jackal on the board. Jedi Joey takes down Spies here. Key player for this M249 defense now. KIA. Trying to maybe find one on vertical there. I think looking for the toes of Murders. He's going to just dance around, rotate back towards Kitchen now. As that Skeleton Key's going to continue to just be really raising this objective. Track's going to go out now on site. SK takes a bit of damage. He's going to actually roll right up top. 2 now. Dexy and Matt find 1. SK will actually get a kill for himself, though. Trying to bring it back to even here. Now trying to force them to clear him out here, but still heavily outnumbered. Dexy and Matt, 2 double kills. And just essentially didn't know what hit him. Yeagerists pick.
Defenders, protect your bombs from being defused by attackers.
So, Yeagerists seeming to get a bit of a momentum boost here as they'll continue to rally. This is the first time actually that we've seen either of these teams manage to string together more than one round. So we'll have to see if they can keep going with this. I am intrigued and excited, however. They've already gotten 3 rounds on attack. They're in a good spot to win right now. They are. They've had a good half. This is a defender-sided map. So if they can get 4, that would be amazing. But even 3-3 is a really good position for them to be in. I would also argue personally that they are more of a defense-favored team. That seems to be where they are more comfortable. So I do think that works to their favor, even if this is not exactly a good map. I just see them. I feel like I see them on this map surprisingly often. So I don't know. But yeah, good points, Sparks. Thank you for pointing that out. So, I think at this point, Yeagerists, I mean, just like last round, they had a clear game plan, get control of vertical. They essentially took what was given to them. As Thing Murders is preparing a Nitro, throws it, and in Canada gonna lose a lot of health. Wow. But essentially, they had a game plan, which was take what was given to them. In this case, vertical. SK takes down Jedi Joey, as I say that. So take what was given to them. In that case, vertical. Secure it to prevent flanks, which they did by bringing that gridlock, throwing down all those tracks, and then just slice and dice the objective. Despise takes a lot of damage there. These Kona stations are gonna probably neutralize a lot of this chip damage, especially if Yeagerist doesn't really try and follow it up with actual frags. Matt gonna take a bit of health, a bit of damage actually, shot in the leg there, courtesy of Despise. Just exchanging shots at this point, as continuing to apply pressure on this 90 side. Yeagerists do have Milwaukee in there. Does have that breach down, but SK takes his head clean off there. I think here's that player breaking the bar. Do believe that's a Dexy over on that main side. Just lying in wait at this point. Flash is going to go out now. Almost a swing there. Actually spots him. Going to try and chase him down. Runs to a second gun. MSert backs him up. Does get the kill. One left now is DC. Takes down Canada. Essentially one versus all situation right now. Murder takes a lot of damage now. Matt will get a headshot there into SK, falling back now as he realizes M249's on the hunt. Despise with a wallbang headshot. Gets the round here. It's team at 3-3 for the half. So at half, 3-3 split at half, which I would say overall favors the Yeagerists, because they're now moving on to defense, onto the stronger side on this map. But at half, check the scoreboard here. In this, so far, I would say a barn burner of a match, just real frag fest between these two teams. 5-4, 5-3-3, 6-8, 2-3-1. Ultimately, I think these two teams are about evenly matched in terms of if one team is outfragging the other. It is clear, though, that there's a more even effort, really, between all the members of Yeagerists. You know, at your top frag is at 5, your bottom frag is at 3. On the other end, you have M249, where SK has been really carrying a lot of the fragging burden per se with 8, and DC is over there sitting at 1 and 5. So another AV hold here. And we're seeing essentially the same things, or very similar things to what we saw from... Oh, there goes one of the keep-up areas, okay. From M249 in terms of setup. Angles. A lot of these same sight lines. Very similar concepts. SK does take down Matt there. I think one of the key differences that we're probably going to see between these two teams is that it seems like M249 is much more focused on being aggressive from the site. While, as I say, that Jenna Joy going to take down Despise, a big frag there. Ultimately brings his team back to even, so that does take a bit of the sting off of it from M249's perspective, but the fact that he takes out that flank watch there is going to make it a lot easier for them to get these flanks down, to put pressure on the backside of an M249 push later in this round, especially considering that I don't think RT got a single air jab down. That's going to definitely compromise, and also the fact that there's no claymores, that's certainly going to compromise any hold if they're not too careful about it, if they don't keep an eye on them. About half the round has elapsed here. We're seeing this take across the top floor from Master. Essentially, pretty similar to what we saw previously from Yeagerists. The only difference is that there's, at least so far, less pressure on 90. Joy obviously going to be a key part of dealing with that pressure, as about a minute is remaining and it continues to tick down here. He's just going to be holding down that angle and is going to probably be a pretty key determinant in the rest of this round. As I say that, I put the jinx on it as Murder takes him down. Florida's drone goes out there, just clear out one of the keep-up areas, going to now make it a bit more dangerous here for the Sazami of Waki to really play AV, to play that angle there. I think another Florida's Datero drone going to go out. Yup. Continuing to just remove all this utility here. But as I was saying, one of the key differences here between the two teams is that, and DC, I think, looking to maybe get this wall open. Waki does take down Murders. Is that Yeagerist is more focused on being aggressive from the roam and from areas near the site, while SK and the rest of M249 really focuses on being aggressive from the site outwards. As I say that, DC gonna find an opportunity here. Spots Waki, takes him out while he's unaware, sneaks his way onto site through connector. Now on that AV side, Adexi will take down one with a headshot. Looks for the plant now. Canada realizes it. Adexi realizes it, but he's out of the round now. SK gonna try and pick this round to protect that plant now. He does get that frag there onto Adexi. Headshot onto DC. 1v1 now between SK and Canada here in the post plant. SK gonna fall all the way back here on to Study Balk. Might rotate in. Canada looking now to get that defuse here. And too late, actually. He will stick it. Pros don't fake. Nor does Canada. It just sneaks right over there. Says, screw it, we ball. Gets the defuse. A blunder there from SK. He cost his team the round. Wow. I don't know what to say. I mean, essentially, Yeagerists were put in a bad spot from the beginning. Losing that opening frag, getting their roam collapsed fairly early. You know, losing Jedi Joey over in 90, essentially being at a man disadvantage for most of the round, but ultimately ended up dooming that round. What ended up dooming M249 was just poor coordination. I mean, they waited until really late in the round to get the push down. There was less than a minute left when they got connector open. That's just far too late. So I would say that, and then just miscoordination on this execute on this plant. I mean, sure, it's fine to plant there. You can also plant just right in the corner behind the doorway into connector. Either or, but you need to be covering that, you know, or have a drone on it. You can't just sit back on Study Balk and let a guy walk over and defuse that, no problem. I really don't know what the thought process there was for SK, but that was a major blunder, and you know, that was ultimately what cost them the round. But it's a 2v1, and you're in a post plant. regardless, you should be winning that. So it just goes on. It's sort of a blown save for the whole team. An opportunity to put themselves in the driver's seat, get back in the lead. I think they've been either tied or trailing for most of this match. So if they could get that lead back, that would be very helpful for them. But unfortunately, missing that opportunity. A Dexy headshot actually by Despise, all the way from downtown. Looks for a second one, possibly just continuing to pre-fire that. Matt takes a lot of damage now as he's going to continue to play this this Master Bath side here. Matero drone going to go around here. Both Jedi Joy and Matt playing this Astro side. Matero drone goes out, doesn't find anybody though, but certainly does move around these players here. Murders on that replicator, does unfortunately get shot out, but don't know if he got a whole lot of utility or a whole lot of intel off of that actually as he was pushing in here. That Thero drone's going to go out now, trying to just continue to clear out this utility, continue to perform sight lines. Despise takes down one. Matt and SK going to get frags. Canada falls as Matt is again taken down there. Jedi Joy takes down Murders. Double kill for the Jaeger here. 1v2 situation. He'll take down MC. He'll take down Murders. TC falls the hands of Matt. 3K from Jedi Joy. Headshot onto SK and it's up to just him and RT. A minute 15 left. RT still has Diffuser in hand. Could still get this plant down. Could still pick this round back up. Spots Jedi Joy. Takes a bit of his health off. Jedi Joy now going to rotate back around. Free-firing there. Two of them engaging in shots here. Standoff between the two of them. And Jedi Joy a 4K. And a round picked up here by Yeagerists, who will proceed to 5-3 now. Just a picture-perfect play there. What a clutch from Yeagerists. A 4K. And again, it just seems right now that M249 is really off rhythm. Yeah, Jedi Joy, holy... I'm not going to say that on stream, but I am certainly thinking that, yeah. And again, it just seems like M249 is blowing it here. Truly. I don't understand what's going on. They were in a good spot, too. They had a very good, you know, in terms of numbers, they were in a great spot.
Locate and defuse bombs.
They got the opening frag. They pressed those players out of Master. Got the, you know, continued to get frags. Started doing trades. Ended up with a solid man advantage. And then they just let Jedi Joey, you know, they just let him go off. I don't understand how you blow a, what was that, a 3v1, 2v1? Like that, how do you let a single guy get 4 kills? How do you let him just walk right over you? I mean, I know that Jedi Joey is arguably Yeagerist's best player, so no disrespect to him. But if you're M249, you're now down 5-3. You're one round away from losing this series. Or, pardon me, from match point. 2 rounds from losing the series. But still, it's difficult to make a comeback when your opponent holds you at match point. So I think that it's going to be key here that they pick up this round. This next round here is, I would argue, a must-win situation for them. We'll have to see how they do as, you know, side sweep opportunity right now for Jedi Joey, for Yeagerists. We'll have to see if they can effectively capitalize on that. But at the moment, it just seems like the pressure is mounting and mounting here for Murders, for Emser, for the rest of this NoMercy roster. Canada and Jedi Joy are roaming above here. Having that Azami above, I would say, is sort of a risk, but also brings a potential reward. Those Kivas are going to generate over time, so that does give him the opportunity to provide himself some cover, set up some angles for Strick, some other angles. The downside is that if he dies, they're going to lose that utility. Versus if he was on site, he would probably be surviving later in the round, providing more of those Kiva barriers. 2 clutches in a row, I say. I mean, they might have, because 2 clutches in a row is a very big morale boost. I would say the only thing that's potentially bigger is either 3 or a side sweep, and that's what they're eyeing right now is a side sweep. Probably not gonna look to play risky here, 3 rounds in a row. Try and have a player clutch for 3 straight rounds, but it's still very possible. Murder takes in Jedi Joy, traded out actually by Emser there. continuing to put pressure here on Bicycle Storage, actually accompanied here by DC. They're going to push in. Despise takes down Walkie. Traded out to Dexy, takes down Murders, as Walkie takes down Skay as well. Traded now, DC going to swing in, takes out Dexy, clears out Memo here, as they just sort of brute force their way onto this objective here. Despise is on site. They do have the diffuser now on the objective. DC is above, and PC Canada going to rotate back onto site. Here's actually the castle break, and that air jab go off. Despise with a double kill. DC now trying to actually fight off Canada, who's in a 1v2 situation. DC going to look to get this plant down. Despise is holding this laundry footholds here. I think Canada, don't know if he realizes it or not, takes a lot of damage actually from that. Flash is going out now. DC does stick the plant here. Just going to try and hold down the site as Despise falls back now. Actually rotates into this objective here, continuing to apply pressure onto Canada, who doesn't have a whole lot of breathing room at the moment. He's outnumbered in a post plant, not on site, doesn't have any real hard cover besides that one reinforcement and the door frame, so he's really just fighting for his life here, and DC will take it. Takes the frag, takes the round, and as I said, must-win situation does end up showing up here. Reminds me of SSG at the Sweden Major. Yeah.
Defenders, protect your bombs from being defused by attackers.
Test deployed, awaiting target. Test out. Godspeed, little fella.
Alright. So, they had it in the bag, just play vertical, yeah. I'm not surprised they lost the defense. I am too. Because they could have won that pretty easily. I think they just gave up vertical too easily.
10 seconds remaining.
Yeah. I mean, all that had to happen was that, I do wonder if that was like a miscommunication issue. But all they had to do, because they had vertical for most of the round, and M249, even though they had the fuse, they had players who could play vertical, they didn't really opt to play vertical. The other part of that is, Yeagerists pretty quickly picking off that fuse of, I think, Amser, and really preventing them from doing that. But, part of the issue was that M249 just elected not to play vert, so Yeagerists really should have taken advantage of that, punished them, played vert, stopped the plant. They have no information operators, that's just an issue that needs to be fixed. Other than that, they're good, yeah. I mean, that's fair. I do agree. I think that I haven't thought about that a whole lot, but these Yeagerists does have, or often doesn't really bring an intel op, or an anti-intel op. In this case, they have Matt here. I mean, they do bring bulletproofs fairly often. I wouldn't say that that's a full, solution, but does provide some level of intel. As Murray takes down a Dex, he does bring a team this opening frag, going to help them, hopefully for them, propel them to another round win here. Does seem to be the trend. That is generally the trend, is that teams that get the opening frag end up winning the round the vast majority of the time. But we can't rule out Yeagerists. We've seen Yeagerists recover from worse. And Yeagerists is on a site that they are now much more comfortable with, in my opinion, than the first floor set, than Kitchen and Dining. Not gonna turn Despise actually into another member of Team Rocket. Blows him away from below. C4. Continuing to be a thorn in their side here. About a minute left, and again, we have to ask the question as Canada takes down Murders. Gets rid of one of their hard breachers. They still have DC here, as Canada is traded out by SK. They still have DC, but gonna get rid of some more utility, some more key utility. But we have to ask the question, less than a minute left, they don't really have 90, they don't have any walls. are they going to be able to pull off and execute this late in the round? Because the last time they tried to delay it this late, they ended up, you know, getting a plant down, sure, being in a 2v1, and then having the remaining defender just quickly slip on to get the defuse and pick up a round here. Flash is going out now as DC is going to try and put some pressure very quickly on this connector side. Again, low time here. Jedi Joey trying to make his presence known over at top main. SK rotates around towards his AV side, finds the head of Matt, takes him out. 2v2 situation. Low time, though. Quickly picked off by Jedi Joey. Now Jedi Joey and Wonky going to close out the round. A frag for each of them. And a round for Yeagerists here. Wonky just same play as before there. Truly. By DC, by that thermite, and ultimately Wonky just lied in wait, predicted the play, and pounced as soon as he could. Got the kill, and that ended up securing the round there. So now they have a very good spot to be in. You know, they've regained their 2-round lead that they just had, and they're a match point here, technically series point. You know, they're technically 1 round away from punching their ticket to play Orion in the next round of the playoffs. All they really need to do is just get this next round.
Attackers need to locate and defuse as many bombs as they can.
There's little words since they won both. Yeah. There's little word for Yeagerists since they won both upstairs sites off of clutches, but they fixed their mistakes and won it. They just need to do it for trophy now. Yeah, I agree.
Bomb located by attackers. 10 seconds to insertion.
But yeah, I agree. I mean, and part of it is just that they're sort of letting M249 trip over their own feet. You know. You know, 249 just seems to be making a lot of mistakes in terms of timing their push. They're waiting very late into the round, which seems to be a pretty common issue for them, and a pretty big issue, considering that they're not playing really 20-second meta lineups. We're not in the 20-second meta anymore, so they don't seem to really need to be waiting that late in the round to get the execute down. They just seem to move in almost slow motion here. That's a pretty big issue. As you can see now, to trying to take out some of this utility there. Here's the throw will get pulled out there, but I'm not sure if that was a frag or not. I think it was. Then ended up getting picked up by the ADS. So Theodore charge goes out. They've essentially cleared out all the utility and all the manpower on that side. Matt will take down one. Murders falls here. Now DC takes a bit of damage. Spy is going to get a frag onto Matt. Trades his teammate out. Continuing to lead the charge for them. He does have double digits. Congrats to SK as well with 13 and Jedi Joey with 12. Real key players for their teams as they're going to continue to try and apply pressure to this objective. Jedi Joey DBNO now. Somebody's going to have to go over and res him. I think that's actually going to be Wonky here. Yep. Just being mindful of that red side. As essentially the entire remainder of this contingent of M249 is on this master side. That'll be Matt falling 2v3. Now Emser takes down Wonky, trading each other out actually 2v2 here. Adexi get capitalized on Vital doing I don't even know what. MPC Canada takes down Despise. And DC 1v2 match on the line. And he seems to be a teeny bit intimidated right now. I think he hears a Dexy there over on that master side. Just waiting for him to maybe make a move. He's essentially encircled here. If he pushes into Asteroid, he deals with Canada. If he pushes into Master, he deals with Dexy. So at this point, they just need to not screw up these 1v1s. Dexy takes a lot of damage now, actually forced back there by DC. Still gonna lie in wait here, still looks for that headshot. Taken down, DC might actually clutch this round up here. A 1v1 between him and Canada. caught by that Kiva barrier. Canada moves his way up and takes him down, and that will be game as Yeagerists prevail 7-4 on Villa. 12-7, 8-9, 7-8, 7-7, 8-9, 11-7, 14-9, 6-9, nice, 5-8, 4-9. And just a great game between these two teams, but ultimately, you know, Yeagerists able to chain together a couple rounds here and there, get those key clutches, capitalize on the mistakes that M249 was making, and win the game and punch their ticket to the next round against Orion. You did. You called it very correctly after the 3-3.
I think so, unless they protest. But
Alright, folks. Thank you all for watching. I've been the Sargo Player. This has been PuMaX League Season 6 playoff action between Yeagerists and NoMercy M249 Map 4, technically Map 3, on Villa. Yeagerists prevail 7-4. Thank you all for watching. Have a good evening.